All right, this is McHale and Mike back with a review of the Taco Bell Crispy Chicken Quesadilla. I saw a commercial of this. I was watching Seinfeld on Hulu one night, and then I had a dream about it, and I was like, wow, that looks really good, and I got it, and believe me when I tell you it is an insult to life itself. Don't try it. We just saw a Disaster Artist, and... All right, let's get both of us in. And I don't know, what are your thoughts on it, first of all?
Well, I don't want to speak too soon, but I like to think that this is one of the best movies I've seen this year, by far. And that's that I feel like they could have gone with such the cheap road of, you know, making it into the stereotypical Judd Apatow style.
Yeah, it wasn't a romp. Like, it wasn't a romp like I thought it was going to be.
No, and like, are there jokes like that? Sure, but
yeah,
I think the amount of actual smart, subtle comedy came out of nowhere, and I loved it.
I loved this movie so much. This is going to get a little personal, but I've been going through not a big existential crisis recently, but I've been thinking about, like we're both pursuing careers in something similar to film or film itself, and this movie showed a lot of what the struggle was like and helped me feel like, I don't know, like I felt this movie sympathized with me, if that makes any sense. This movie, I think it might be a little too soon to say, but as of as I'm speaking this right now, my current feeling is that this movie would be in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I always enjoy movies about making movies.
Right.
Like, this might have dethroned Ed Wood as like the movie about making movies.
Well, I think to continue on what you were saying, this movie's super interesting because, you know, again, it's not just fuck Tommy Wiseau, look at him, he's such a weirdo. I mean, and there is a little bit of that, but I thought it was so interesting. Like, I thought especially the spoilers a little bit if you don't know the story about The Room. Tune out, fast forward like 20 seconds. The fight scene between Tommy and Mark is done amazing.
Yeah.
Or Greg, I should say.
They build the tension really naturally.
They bring up this existentialism where it's like, you know, constantly being told you're not good enough. And I thought that was super interesting, and that's not something I expected in this movie above anything else.
And it went like the, I Hate Everything was talking about The Room and like how he doesn't think it's even that bad of a movie to make fun of. Because you have to think, like, Tommy Wiseau had the balls, like, after everybody made fun of him and stuff, and he, like, went through a lot of that stuff, like, to put himself out there like that, and to do stuff, like, to do something like this, to produce, to write, to direct, to star in this movie, it takes a lot. And
right.
I wasn't expecting this movie to deal with that as much as it did.
Another thing that really, I thought, was really interesting in its approach was once you get towards the end of the movie and they actually have the premiere, and
that was super emotional.
What do you think? Everyone's laughing and shit like that. I thought it was so interesting. I've seen The Room, gotta be getting up to 7 or 8 times. I've laughed my ass off the majority of the times, but you have to remember that someone actually made this, and that's what made it so. Like, you never think that. Like, I think when you're watching a movie, I myself personally have the tendency to detach it from the creators, and you have to remember, like, yeah, this movie's awful, but this guy poured his heart and soul to it. And like, if you feel kind of bad laughing at it, but then, I think it resolved very well. When he ultimately has the resolve, it's like you're making people happy. That's it's a big thing.
I've heard it called the kiss of death.
Right.
Is what I've called it. That thing that gives away that it's a Tarantino movie. Like, saying the N-word. It has that Tommy Wiseau touch, even though he's directed one movie, like, this has Tommy Wiseau written all over it. And this
movie... You can tell he cared.
Like, you can tell that he had a vision, he just didn't know what it was.
Right. Personally, I know McHale is reading the book currently.
Yeah, I'm almost finished with it.
I don't know much about it. There were tons of interesting stuff I didn't know. Like, I did not know the movie was shot in
both HD and film.
Like, I didn't know that. I thought that was a really interesting thing to bring up. We can't talk too extensively on it because...
Yeah, we're up at 4 minutes already. We'll do another video on this.
We're actually, like Mikhail said, we're planning on doing, we're starting a new style of review.
We're going to review.
Full reviews.
Instead of this immediate thing with my hand shivering. It's cold outside.
Yeah, for anyone that's interested... in these, just so you know, with the full reviews, these won't stop. Though, because McHale's off at college and I'm back here.
These are just little like quips to say,
Right.
like to make sure we get them a review out for a movie.
Right, they may be a little separated. It might only be one of us. It might be different groups of us, but we're still going to continue these along with the full reviews. And just because we do an immediate review for something does not mean that necessarily we're not going to do the full review for it, or vice versa.
All right, guys. So that's all we're gonna do for now. If you could kindly smash that motherfucking like button and subscribe.
Please remember to dab on the haters.
Dab on those haters.